It's gotten worse. Drop a like, subscribe, let's go for 8 likes. Thanks. Have you ever heard of the famous Alcatraz prison? The one where 36 inmates have tried to escape but none have succeeded. Legend has it, there was an ancient French Minecraft prison made by a novel architect that went by ValkyRiver, River for short, that rivaled the Alcatraz for the title of being the #1 hardest prison to escape. That prison was called Le Retour, French for the return. And here's why you can't escape it. You spawn in this enclosed bedrock. There's only one rule, and that is you can't break any of these blocks on screen, even the button. You start out by breaking the sign, the only sign you can break. You go into F5, see there's a chest, there's a pearl and an iron nugget. Look at your options, doesn't seem like much. Just like that place is the place you can go with the pearl. You don't find anything, come back down. You find lava in one hallway, find another portal in another, and then you find an end portal down in this dungeon. You go up the water stream, find that there's an eye. You're now 1/12 of the way done. Come back to the mid, and we'll be coming back to spawn very frequently. Find a slab in this furnace, and you decide to go into this room here. A bunch of hoppers, and there's another iron nugget, some glazed terracotta showing arrows. There's a bunch of hoppers and cauldrons. Not knowing what to do, you spot a block of netherite, and this indicates that there's something underneath. So you look in the hopper underneath, and you find a water bottle. You decide to move all the water into one cauldron, and luckily underneath the cauldron was a comparator, which controlled how the glass bottle moved in the hoppers. You place the glass bottle into the first hopper, and that leads to the door opening. You don't know where. You get another iron nugget and a gold nugget. Use the chest in the wall to get up. There's a block of netherite blocking you and a dropper. It must mean you have to put something. So you put in the gold nugget and now you're back at spawn. Check the chest, place the chest down, and go into the room that had once been blocked. As you step in, you hear a bunch of pistons go off and the door behind you closes. You realize there's been a string, an observer, stone pickaxe. You take that, you mine the observer, you break the chest. You find a bunch of stuff in it. You don't know what to do. There's 2 oak wood, and there's enough to make a sword, which you can use to break the cobweb. You find out you can make a fishing rod. You use the fishing rod to weigh down the pressure plate. Path opens to another room. There's an oak plank, you break it. You fall into this mysterious room. There are a bunch of arrows. There's an observer. And you go into the adjacent room and see another pattern with sticky pistons. You attempt to decode it. You see that it may be showing you the way to put these blocks, and so you follow it. You do the same for the sticky pistons, and as you put the repeater, you hear a piston move. I don't really know what happened, but place the last observer. You make a button, and the sign said non-stackable item required. So you decide to put in your stone pick. Use the button to activate it. Some red sand. You break it. There's a weird room that's blocked off. You see you can craft TNT. You put in a dropper and it instantly consumes it. You place the button on the block of netherite and the TNT goes off. Breaking the crafting table, path out has opened up. You make your way back to spawn. Hit that chest. And you see that this is the first room, this is the second room. Now you're supposed to go to the third room. And you notice a block of netherite indicating something. You place a button. Somehow it opens. That dropper is not supposed to be there, so I get rid of it. Now onto this third room. This villager with the furnace behind it. You make it into red dye, get some cactus. Trade the button, finding that you need to smelt the cactus to trade again. Then you trade for the milk. There's nothing in this room. How are you supposed to complete it? But to your surprise, you find a hopper underneath the lava. And there's a redstone. They didn't really help much. You drink the bucket, get the lava, place it in that little hole. Hopefully it did something. It did. Find a hopper, sponge, a wet one, and you use a lava bucket to dry it up. Get a water bucket in return. You notice that this wasn't a void. It actually come down. And in this dropper you find one more iron nugget. Underneath the cauldron is a hopper, which there was a redstone. You see these coordinates, x25, z equals 32. You follow it, you put a marker there. You realize from room number 1 that cauldrons, when filled, send the redstone signal. So you put some water in it. There was a redstone torch in the dropper. Nothing in the hopper. Try it again. There's nothing. So you decide to put the redstone torch where the sponge is. A door opens up and a path opens up, and in the hallway find a dropper with a button in it, and it says bucket only. So you put a bucket, you activate it with a button. You notice that this might be some kind of teleporter. Oh no, it's an elevator. It brings you all the way up. There's only one way to go, so you move ahead, and the path leads to a room where there's a bunch of lava everywhere. Then you go back, you realize you've missed something. Potion, a void potion. It had fire res and night vision, and you're able to go through the lava. You find a chest, you open it, you take some stuff out, but put some random items back in just in case it needed some items in it. You hear pistons. So you go back into the lava. There were 2 chests with sticks in it. You go back, pick the items from the first chest, and you make a redstone torch, redstone repeater, and some ladders. Under the crafting table was a drop. Fall down, build up with all these blocks, and 2 ladders to get back up. In the next room, you decide to put in something in the dropper. You open up this big netherite door. In the following hallway, you see some blocks of netherite on the floor, so you follow it with redstone and a repeater. Drop down, in the hopper there's a cobblestone and an ender pearl. You decide to try and glitch up. Back at spawn again. You're able to create a lever, which allows you to go into the 4th room. It opens up, and breaking pistons was allowed, so you break them. And there's a sign with the dropper that is spelled lever backwards. So you put in your lever and you click the stone button. Path opens up. At the end of the path, find a piece of dirt and then you build up. There's the next room. You find some wood and there's an opening in the wall. And there's also string on the floor. So you break all of it. Make a loom, make some wool, break that dirt, hopper with a stick. So you're able to make a banner. You build up, there's a dropper, bone meal. And you realize you needed a non-stackable item to send a stronger signal. And so you made a white banner with the blue pattern. You build back up, place the banner in. It open up the netherite door. Grab all your blocks, go to the next room, and trade your items. 10 slime, 2 pistons. That barrel was too far to reach. So you go back and make a slime block. Also make a sticky piston. Drop down, realize there's a long path of lava to the other side. You had to get over it. So you look in the lava, you find a diamond pick, 2 observers, and enough honey to make a honey block. You realize you needed to make a flying machine with the pistons facing the ways the arrow was pointed. So you made it. And then you started moving. The machine stops as it hits the other side. You see 2 signs, one that spelled exit backwards and one that spelled hopper backwards. You notice a villager. You trade whatever he has to offer. There's a crafting table. You decide to make a brewing stand, blaze powder, and a magma cream. You had enough materials to make a fire res potion. And there was a slab too, but you couldn't break that slab. You realize underneath it was a smithing table. You smith the diamond pick into a netherite one. In the corner, just barely see a hopper. And in the hopper was an iron nugget. You make the fire res potion, drink it, and check if there's anything left. Even water might be helpful. So you grab the water with your water bottle, drop the netherite pick into the hopper. Since it's non-stackable and it's the only item that won't burn to lava. A piston moves and you jump down. There's an exit. In the exit, didn't seem like anything, but you had to build up. So use the rest of the items to build up. There's a room with some wool, some wood, and that room connected to 2 paths. One path had a crafting table at the end, and the other path was this room with the villager. It was the same villager. This time, you traded 2 magenta for a concrete block. And there's iron in the furnace, and an iron hoe, and 5 iron in the barrel. You want to smelt the iron hoe, but you think you just smelt it, and there really isn't anything to use to smelt it until you notice you could break the barrel. The barrel somehow made it to the furnace. You grab the iron nuggets, and then you head back to the hallway with the crafting table. You made 2 more magenta wool and you made a bed. Now you're gonna do a bed glitch where you block off your bed. So hopefully you can wake up outside the wall. But then you return back to spawn. You've been in the 1st room, 2nd room, 3rd room, the 4th room, and now you had to go into the room with a nether portal. But then there's a path you'd be crawling to get through. You decided to make a trapdoor and a pressure plate. Use the trapdoor and the pressure plate. And in the room, there was a Herobrine shrine. Check out the hallways. One hallway led back to the nether portal. One hallway showed lava. Another hallway showed TNT. You were allowed to break the netherrack, so you did. You find a flint inside. Break the chest too. Make the flint and steel. Light up the portal. Went back. Then shot an arrow through the lava, hoping it would ignite the TNT on the other side. So it did. And you shot the target too, but the door had not opened. And there's a dropper once again. So you place your 3 non-stackable items in the dropper. And then it opened up the piston door. Find a chest with a silk touch golden shovel. And you break the 4 glowstone. Build up with your remaining blocks. And you drop down back to spawn. This time, but you remember you had just lit the nether portal. So you go through the nether portal. You find yourself still entrapped. You find an instant damage spot and some crying obsidian. The door closed behind you and the path opened up. You make your way in and decide to make a respawn anchor. And reminded of what you had done with the bed, you set your spawn point, you block it off, and use the instant damage, hopefully respawn you back into another room, which it did. And the hopper was another potion with jump boost 2. You're able to find a dropper with 8 eyes of ender and a fire charge. Drink the potion, jump up to check if there's anything else, make your way to the other end. In the other end, find another portal. You light it up with a fire charge. As you come back, you see a boat on ice. So you happily rode your way all the way to the end at record-breaking speed. Got off the boat, check what's in this room, and you find that there's a dropper with an eye in it and a golden pressure plate. The boat was used to weigh down the pressure plate as the path opened up. Find another eye as you were walking back to spawn. Now you had enough eyes, so you walked down the dungeon and filled in the end. Jump in, and once again you were still not out. You make your way forward, break the chest too, and you realize you have to build up. So you decide to make all the items into block form. And you end up making some quartz, some honey, amethyst block, and use the stairs as well. So you reach the top. In the top, you find the end potion, high res, night vision. In the other hopper, you find ender pearl. You mine the 2 soul sand and jump back through the portal. You're once again stuck at the beginning, but this time you got a pearl. And so you pearled out. And then you decided to go to the room with the lava. The path leads back into the room with the end portal. And now you're confused, but you realize the path you had to get to was 2 blocks high. You placed down the soul sand and attempted to jump up, but after some failed attempts, you managed to jump up 2 blocks out of the water, and you're met with another water stream. You try to do the same, and after some failed attempts, you're finally up, and now you're in an awfully big room with a bunch of blocks of netherite and a villager. The villager had 1 single tray, 2 empty glass bottles, a single wooden button. As you look around, you notice that again there's a block of netherite on the ceiling. So you align yourself and place the button down and contemplate a life, because this might be it. You said your farewells to the villager and press the wooden button. Congratulations, you had just made it out the little. Comment down below if you think you had a chance at beating it. Maybe you could. Who knows? I'll be looking and seeing and responding to your comments. If you watched till this far, please drop a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And turn on notifications. I hope to see you in the next one, boys. Peace.